Hello everyone and welcome to my bold and beautiful official update channel. The Forresters are losing friends fast on the Bold and the Beautiful. This week on Bold and Beautiful, Ridge's prodigal son Thomas returns to Forrester Creations. At the family fashion house, Ridge Forrester and his children Steffi and Thomas are all back in charge. But they are making enemies fast and rubbing everyone at FC the wrong way. If Ridge and his children force all of Forrester Creations' employees to leave, they won't be able to compete with Dollar Bill's new fashion house. Spoilers for next week's episode of B&B can be found below. B&B spoilers: Ridge's kids are both back at work. Ridge Forrester is thrilled to have both of his kids back at the family business. It has been a long time since the Forresters weren't outnumbered in their own boardroom. However, Ridge really needs to take a few HR classes on how to treat his staff at the office. Sadly, Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, and Queen Steffi seem to have inherited their father's horrible interpersonal skills. Katie Logan, Heather Tom, is still devastated that Ridge replaced her with a PR team at Forrester Creations. After the fact, Brooke and Ridge insisted it was just to give her a break after all of the Luna drama. But Katie took it personally and, after so many years of service, deserved a lot more from her managers. Meanwhile, Ridge's own father Eric Forrester John McCook is still at home licking his wounds after his son threw him an unwanted retirement party. Bold and the Beautiful viewers are still horrified by how the Forrester heir treated his own father. B&B spoilers: Steffi Forrester strikes. This week on Bold and the Beautiful, Thomas Forrester announced he was taking back his design job at Hope for the Future. The Forresters probably should have discussed Thomas' return with Hope Logan herself, because she will be furious when Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, fires her little brother. The women will be at war once more before the new year, according to internet rumors, and the truce between Hope Logan and Queen Steffi will be declared null and void. In one sweep, Ridge and his kids have managed to alienate themselves from Eric, Katie, Hope, and Deke. Do you think the Forrester family has been acting horribly lately? Will everyone leave them and join Bill's new company at this rate? Stay tuned to Soap Opera Spy for more Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Let us know what you think down below. B&B spoilers: Katie poaches Hope from FC and teaches Ridge a lesson. The Bold and the Beautiful, B&B, spoilers indicate that Hope Logan Spencer, Annika Noel, could take Hope for the Future to her aunt's brand new fashion house. She is fed up with the favoritism at FC and now is the perfect time to send a message. Will Heather Tom's Katie Spencer, grant her niece access to her brand new design studio? Hope for the Future. HFTF is Hope's baby, her signature line that has been in existence for years. However, this means that she is at the mercy of Steffi Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and Ridge Forrester, and they have treated her shabbily over the years. Hope for the Future is about to launch a new line, but Hope doesn't have control over it. She wants Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn, to design the line, but the others are against it. Steffi ditched Deke in favor of her brother now that Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, is back in town. B&B is having fashion wars. Although they are not Forresters, Deke is Hope's brother. Hope may follow after Deke has passed away. Since Hope was a part of a coup to unseat the Forresters not too long ago, we know that she has the ability to behave badly or leave when she gets fed up. Are the Logans stacked against Forrester Creations? If Hope becomes tired of her treatment at FC, would Katie invite her to come on board at her fashion house? Don Diamond's Bill Spencer is providing funding for Katie's new venture, which she had no idea she wanted. She has all kinds of new and exciting ideas and needs employees to carry out her vision. Furthermore, would Hope be permitted to take HFTF with her when she leaves FC? We'll have to wait and see about that, but why would she stay where she's not wanted? HFTF is at Forrester Creations. Both Hope and Deke would be able to show off their talents at Katie's workplace. Do you want Katie to make Hope an offer she can't refuse? Red hot: the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers point to Hope having to make a choice in the coming days. Will she play it safe or take a big risk? Tell us what you want Hope to do. The power structure at Forrester Creations has shifted once again on the Bold and the Beautiful, and with it comes a familiar sense of chaos, entitlement, and emotional fallout. Ridge Forrester's long-awaited reunion with both of his children at the family fashion house should have been a moment of triumph, unity, and renewal. Instead, it has quickly become a masterclass in how to alienate allies, humiliate loyal employees, and ignite yet another fashion war that could permanently alter the landscape of Los Angeles' elite design world. As Ridge, Steffi, and Thomas reclaim their dominance at Forrester Creations, they seem blissfully unaware or perhaps willfully indifferent to the trail of resentment they are leaving behind. For years, Forrester Creations has been portrayed as more than just a business. For everyone involved, it is a symbol of identity, a battleground for power, and a family legacy. That is precisely why the recent actions of the Forresters sting so deeply. This isn't just about office politics or creative disagreements. It's about respect, loyalty, and whether blood ties excuse cruelty. As the Forresters tighten their grip on control, they may be underestimating just how fragile their support system has become and how tempting Bill Spencer's new fashion house looks to those who feel discarded. Ridge Forrester, long known for his arrogance masked as confidence, is thrilled to see his children back where he believes they belong, at the top. Ridge believes that the balance of power has finally shifted back in favor of the Forresters, with Thomas returning to the design helm and Steffi asserting her authority once more. For the first time in years, they are no longer outnumbered by Logans in their own boardroom. Yet what should feel like a victory instead reeks of insecurity. Ridge's leadership style hasn't evolved, if anything, it has hardened. He assumes authority rather than communicates, and he demands loyalty without demonstrating empathy in return. Unfortunately, Steffi and Thomas appear to have inherited their father's worst traits. They appear determined to repeat their mistakes, albeit faster and with less remorse, rather than learning from them. Steffi's leadership style has always been authoritarian, but it is now almost vindictive. She makes sweeping decisions without consultation, confident that her last name grants her the moral high ground. Thomas, meanwhile, returns to Forrester Creations with an air of entitlement, expecting forgiveness, authority, and creative control without earning the trust of those he has hurt. One of the most glaring examples of the Forresters' tone-deaf behavior is how they handled Katie Logan. Katie has devoted years of her life to Forrester Creations, serving as a reliable and professional PR executive who weathered scandal after scandal to protect the brand. When Ridge abruptly replaced her with an external PR team, he framed it as concern for her well-being following the Luna drama. However, when actions communicate disposability, intentions are meaningless. Katie wasn't offered reassurance, gratitude, or a meaningful conversation. Instead, she was sidelined and expected to accept it quietly. For Katie, this wasn't just a professional blow, it was deeply personal. She has always struggled with feeling undervalued, both in her career and within the Forrester-Logan dynamic. Ridge's decision reinforced her long-standing fear that loyalty counts for nothing when convenience enters the picture. Brooks' attempts to soften the blow rang hollow, because the damage had already been done. Katie wasn't given a choice, and in a world where power is everything, that loss of agency may be the final straw. Equally disturbing is how Ridge treated his own father, Eric Forrester. Forrester Creations is centered on Eric, not just because he is the company's founder. His forced retirement party remains one of the most unsettling moments in recent B&B history. Watching Ridge override Eric's wishes under the guise of concern was painful for viewers and devastating within the story. Eric wasn't honored, he was dismissed. The fact that Ridge now carries on as if nothing happened only deepens the wound. Eric's absence from Forrester Creations isn't merely symbolic, it represents the loss of wisdom, humility, and compassion that once anchored the company. While Ridge, Steffi, and Thomas operate with tunnel vision, Eric understood the importance of relationships. He knew that a fashion house thrives not just on talent, but on trust. Without him, the company feels colder, harsher, and far more vulnerable to collapse. The situation grows even more volatile with Thomas reclaiming his position at Hope for the Future. It was a strategic error to announce his return without consulting Hope Logan, which exemplifies everything that is wrong with the current Forrester administration. Hope for the Future isn't just a line housed at Forrester Creations, it is Hope's creation, her vision, and her professional identity. Treating it like a Forrester asset rather than Hope's passion project reveals how little respect they truly have for her contributions. Steffi's decision to remove Deke Sharp from the project in favor of Thomas is the breaking point. Deke may not be a Forrester, but he earned his place through talent and collaboration. His dismissal sends a clear message: blood matters more than merit. This confirms Hope's long-held belief that, regardless of her success, she will always be second-rate at Forrester Creations. Hope and Steffi's fragile peace was never built on trust, rather, it was built on necessity. Now, with Thomas back and Steffi flexing her authority, that truce is effectively dead. The looming war between these two women feels inevitable, and it won't be confined to personal insults or passive-aggressive encounters. This is a battle for creative control, respect, and survival. Hope is at a point in her life where complying feels like betraying herself. What makes this moment especially compelling is Hope's history. She has already participated in a coup against the Forresters once before. She knows how to play hardball when pushed. Unlike earlier versions of Hope who sought harmony at all costs, this version understands power dynamics. She knows when to walk away and when to strike back. The question isn't whether she'll fight, it's how. That's where Katie Spencer enters the picture. Katie's unexpected new venture, funded by Bill Spencer, represents more than just a business opportunity. She gets a second chance, as does anyone else who feels left out by the Forresters. Bill's backing gives the project financial credibility, but Katie's vision gives it heart. She didn't even know she wanted this path, yet now it feels inevitable, as if fate has finally handed her the reins. For Hope, Katie's fashion house could be a lifeline. A place where hope for the future is truly hers, free from interference, favoritism, and constant power struggles. The idea of bringing her line and Deke along is both empowering and risky. Would Forrester Creations allow Hope to take HFTF with her? Legally, the answer is murky. Emotionally, the answer is clear: why stay where you are not valued? The looming fashion war between Forrester Creations and Bill's new company raises the stakes even higher. Bill enjoys the opportunity to compete with Ridge on an equal footing, and he is no stranger to brutal competition. The Forresters run the risk of becoming dangerously outmatched if they continue to alienate their top talent. Creativity is the driving force behind fashion, but people win wars and people remember how they were treated. Hope's decision will define the next chapter of her life. Playing it safe means enduring more disrespect, more compromises, and more heartbreak. Taking the risk means uncertainty, but also freedom. Katie's offer, should it come, won't just be about a job. It will be about validation, trust, and rewriting the narrative that has kept the Logans on the defensive for decades. Ultimately, The Bold and the Beautiful is at its best when it explores these power struggles through deeply personal choices. The Forresters may believe they are reclaiming their legacy, but in reality, they are eroding it. Another ally is drawn toward the door with every dismissive decision, unilateral action, and favoritism. At this rate, Forrester Creations won't just be facing external competition, it will be hollowed out from within. As viewers watch these events unfold, one thing is clear: loyalty is no longer guaranteed, patience has run out, and change is coming fast. Whether the Forresters recognize their mistakes in time remains to be seen. But if history is any indication, they may not realize what they've lost until it's already standing across the battlefield armed with talent, ambition, and a long memory.